What's up, handsome? We got the fisheye lens on here. We're like 2 inches from Gilbert's face. You're looking a little silly, big boy. Looking a little fish-eyed. All right, you guys. I hate the cold weather, and it's like in the teens here, below freezing. Not a happy individual. Not in life, but with this current climate condition I'm suffering in. Oh man, you try to live in the South thinking you can avoid these things. Sorry. It's got to be like the polar ice caps down here. Anyway, we are in the car getting ready to do a couple of errands, and then something kind of exciting, potentially, and it's related to this annoying climate crisis that we're facing. I'd like to go to a new gym today, possibly my new gym home. If you watched my last vlog, we had some problems at the gym I've been going to for a while. It's one of those big box chain gyms, and I love the crowd. I love feeding off of that energy, but it is not a good environment for recording content. I need somewhere that's more tolerant about filming content, and their policy is that you're allowed to record. You can bring tripods and stuff. But with it being so crowded, it's like a little bit poor gym etiquette to not only take up the space of the machine that you're on, but also 5-10 feet away, you have your tripod set up and recording, so you're taking up that space too. And it's so crowded. There's a lot of people in the background who don't like being on camera. I get it, whatever. So I need a more private gym, somewhere that's more chill. And I would like a little bit more aesthetic gym. And I checked out this gym the other day because I met somebody there for a Facebook Marketplace deal, and he was suggesting that I train there. But I need to look into them a little bit more and ask them directly about filming content. I'm pretty sure they actually have a positive and they encourage people to make content there, just looking at their social media. But I'd like to go there today and see what their policy is, see what their rates are. Problem is, with this current climate crisis, I'm not sure that anybody's even going to be there, employee-wise. It's a 24-hour gym, so people kind of come at their own peril. But you know how it goes. People overreact to these weather conditions. If you live up on a mountain, then you don't want to drive down and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not fully confident that they're even going to have an employee there to talk to today. So we're going to go there and see if we can get our monthly membership. It's a non-contract membership, which is also nice. We'll get a trial basis and see what the vibe is like, assuming there's actually an employee there who can help me out. So let me take a swig of this pre-workout, and then we got to get on our way, and we'll talk a little bit more as we drive. So good. All right, also on our errands list for the day, we got to go to Sam's Club and get some protein and some other accessories as well for our diet, some low-calorie options. The cut is going very, very good. I've only been cutting for like 2 weeks, and I'm already probably 8 or 9% body fat. I need to get scanned and see. And fortunately, this new gym does have an in-body scan that you can use once a month. So does my old gym, but they always make this fucking hassle out of it. You have to like book an appointment. Guys, it takes 3 minutes to get an in-body scan. Take your socks and shoes off. You stand on it like you stand on a scale. It does electronic impedance, prints out a little report. It's not a big deal, but they want you to book an appointment so they can talk to you about personal training programs and stuff like that. Like, I'm more jacked and I know more about fitness and nutrition than all you personal trainers combined, okay? Let's not waste my time. I need to know what my body fat is, okay? Please, can we just skip to that? And if you want to do it more than once a month, they charge you like $5 per check. It's ridiculous. So, I don't know. We'll see about this new gym. That's what I want to vlog about though. New gyms. It's an exciting time for me, It's like a new relationship. There's been, over the last 11 years, probably 10 to 15 gyms come or gone, and I tend to average about one per year. And it's not because like something traumatic happens and I just have to move on. I've never gotten kicked out of any gyms or anything like that, but just the change in environment is helpful for me. I really like it. So I don't know why. Maybe it's just a new assortment of machines to play with, different clientele, you meet new people, whatever, but it's just kind of happened that way, whether it's been because I moved or because I changed jobs and some other gym is closer to my job, or because I'm just itching to feel a new place. I will say one reason why I have switched gyms a couple of times is because there's been a big shakeup in my personal life. And it may have been a physical move, like when I moved to Portland, and then when I moved back from Portland back to Alabama, and just wanting a new change of scenery for a new chapter of my life. That's a nice way to do it. You know, like I guess some people appreciate familiarity, and, you know, when there's a big shakeup, you want to kind of lock everything down and stick with the basics, stick with what you know. But for me, it was like, all right, this is a new chapter. Let's just change everything. Let's get a new gym. We'll have a different routine. Maybe you start bulking or start cutting, you know, go through a different phase of your lifting evolution. But the constancy, though, of still going to the gym every day, still dieting, that doesn't change. It's just a change in environment that is a nice way to mark a new chapter in life. So I've been training at this gym since May, so we're coming up on nearly a year. Now that being said, for the last 10 years, while I've been making plenty of content pertinent to fitness and dieting and stuff, I haven't been like recording much stuff in the gym, and it's like never with a tripod and a nice camera and a microphone and all that. So I've never had to find a good home specifically for those reasons. So that does introduce a little bit more complexity. I need a bit different accommodations these days. So we'll see. This is a more masculine gym for sure. A little less of like the goofy neon lights and a lot of the circuit training and 10 million treadmills for all the soccer moms and all that. This is like deadlift platforms, squat and bench racks, plate loaded machines. It's honestly for like more serious lifters. Probably a lot higher percentage of power lifters go there than these other big box gyms. You know, bodybuilders kind of just get it in wherever they can. You know, I've had my Planet Fitness chapter. I'm actually driving past it right now. That was one more change. Like in the last 2 years, I trained at Planet Fitness and in this Phase 3 fitness place. And the Planet Fitness era was specifically because I was waiting on this other much larger, nicer gym to open, and it ended up taking them over a year. So I trained at Planet Fitness despite being a 10-year lifting veteran for a whole year, just because it was the closest thing to my house. It was 5 minutes away, got the job done. These days, I don't do heavy barbell lifts anymore, no heavy deadlifts, squats, or bench. So I don't necessarily need that setup when it comes to I need 100-pound dumbbells and I need 10 squat racks and all this. I don't need that stuff these days. So Planet Fitness got the job done. And that's really what it comes down to, is convenience and efficiency if it's close to your house. Because, you know, when you're on those days where your motivation is low and you're trying to summon not the motivation but the discipline to just go and do what you know you need to do, it's a lot easier to do that when it's a 5-minute drive compared to maybe a 15-minute drive, 30-minute drive, whatever. There's definitely chapters in the lifting career where the gym I was going to was closer to like 20, 25 minutes away. And even then I was trying to make that commute during rush hour. So a lot of times it would get drug out into a 30 or 40-minute trip just to get to the gym. And I still did it, okay? I still did it for years. But it does require a much higher level of discipline to push through those days when you don't have the motivation to go, and then you have to have an hour in the car. But that hour in the car, you know, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back, that should kind of be your psychological preparation, your zen. You know, you're listening to your music getting pumped up, you're sipping your pre-workout, as I think every vlog I've ever done, I'm sipping a pre-workout. That's how I found a way to transition from the work day or whatever other stresses or obligations I have that day to the fun part of the day, which is going and making gains, feeling like I am building up a stronger character day by day, mentally, physically, putting myself in a different category of human being than the rest of the population. And I don't say that with a sense of superiority, but I do say that with a factually true statement that is, look around you, most people are not physically fit. Not even close. I mean, most people are at a minimum 20 pounds overweight. Many of them are significantly more than that. So the simple task of, all right, let's just go and be stewards of physical fitness does require a different level of discipline and self-denial and all the other character attributes that I oftentimes talk about when it comes to the fitness lifestyle and how it's going to draw these things out of you. They really are blessings that are packaged like a Christmas present for you and handed to you simultaneous to the physical rewards of looking better and having an easier dieting life, which therefore gives you a higher self-image every time you look in the mirror, gives you more confidence when you interact with other people. Other people take you more seriously because what you show on the exterior is undeniable. Like, people can't say that you don't exercise. People can't say that you don't restrain yourself when it comes to poor dieting habits. When you have a physique that is genuinely rare, and I'm not talking about like, okay, you're skinny, so therefore you're clearly not fat. You're not somebody who habitually overeats, is habitually slovenly. That's obvious if you're just simply skinny. But when you also have muscle on your frame, then that does say something different. And then if you go beyond that and have a significant amount of muscle on your frame, then that demonstrates that this is not a genetic gift. It's not a phase or anything like that. This is something that you have invested in over the long term, that you're not just like in a monk mode for a few months. You're in your New Year's resolution phase. You're preparing to go on a cruise, so you're just slimmed down at the moment. No, I mean, this is like somebody who clearly has the discipline to stick with the diet and a lifting or some kind of exercise routine for a very long time. I mean, to max out your fat-free muscle index, according to the clinical research, and this is true anecdotally for myself and pretty much anybody who's been in the bodybuilding or lifting world, it takes about 4 years. And with 4 years of cumulative lifting and the necessary diet to support that, you will have a 1% physique. Meaning, when you interact with the average population in a crowd of 100 people, you will be the only one who looks the way you do in terms of leanness and muscle mass. And assuming you stick with it for even longer than the 4 years, which virtually everybody does, like if you've invested 4 years in this, then it's not likely that you're just going to fall off the wagon. That very rarely happens. So once you start pushing it to, this is just the way I live my life. Okay, like this, no matter what job I have, no matter what relationship I'm in, no matter what family problems I'm going through, health problems, whatever else causes people to disregard their commitments to their physical health, I am not one of those people. Like, no matter what, this commitment is an ongoing choice of mine that I've prioritized in my life. And becoming somebody like that starts putting you even below the 1 out of 100 people. You're talking about 1 out of 1,000 people, which is a cool thing to like really separate yourself from the herd. You know, people do this in many different ways. Some people grind, they'll hold 2 jobs, they'll be an entrepreneur, they'll hustle, they'll do whatever to create the wealth that puts them into the single-digit percentage of the population. Some people will take scholarly pursuits and they'll get 2 PhDs, okay, and they'll consider themselves, I am factually in the less than 1% of the nation when it comes to education. true statement. You know, I can't debate somebody about that and say, oh, that's not true. Yeah, sure. You are formally more educated, and I said, note that I specified formally more educated than 99% of the population. That is true. Go and get 3 PhDs and you're probably formally more educated than 999 out of 1,000 people in the country. So just keep staying consistent. You just got to keep going forever and ever and ever, like the Energizer Bunny. You don't stop, and you will separate yourself from the masses. And it's not just like for the sake of being different. You're not doing it for the sake of being different. You're doing it for all of the dividends that it's going to give you. The improved self-image, the easier dieting life, you're going to be more attractive to the other sex, all of those things. But also, just by consequence of pursuing those priorities, you will then become the 1 out of 1,000. So anyway, enough about that. We're going to go chip away, whether it's at this gym or the other. Maybe. I might not go to the other gym, my home gym, if this one is closed today due to the weather. Because a rest day would actually be pretty beneficial for me, especially during a cut like this where I've been calorically deficient for a while. But I do have other errands that I need to take care of. I have a Facebook Marketplace deal where I'm going to be nabbing a iPad mini for a very specific reason, okay? If you guys know about cameras, you probably also know about camera monitors. You know, the little screen that you'll attach to a camera. That way you're not trying to film using the little 2-inch LCD display on the back of the camera. It's very, very difficult to make sure you're properly exposed, to make sure everything is framed correctly on that tiny ass little screen. And so that's why you see any professional using a camera having a camera monitor attached to it. And I would like to have one of those, but camera monitors are a category of electronics that are specifically made to work with a camera, and they don't really serve any other purpose. You can't go and use that device for other things. Well, you can also, using some of the apps that are around nowadays, turn your mobile device, whether it's your phone, iPad, even your laptop, into a camera monitor, wirelessly or plugged up directly. And I've been using my phone for that purpose, and it has worked pretty well, but I think an iPad mini might be the sweet spot in terms of size to get a little bit better framing and making sure I can see it when I'm 10 feet away, setting up the tripod, positioning myself in all of these different environments to record. It might actually be overkill though, is the thing. Like camera monitors tend to run 5 to 7 inches. iPad minis are like 8 inches. And at that point, like the camera monitor is bigger than the damn camera itself. So I'm not sure, well, I'm looking at my map here to make sure I don't pass the new gym. I'm not sure if it's gonna be a good setup or not, but I found an iPad mini on Facebook Marketplace for, the guy had it up for like 175, and then he marked it down to 150. And then I sent him a message saying, hey, I'll take it off your hands for 100 if you'd like. And he said, yeah, I can do that. So we found ourselves a very good deal. And people love iPad minis, by the way, because they have kids and whatever else people love these things for. If it is too big for the camera, it's too clunky, whatever, then I'll just trade it or sell it off, and I won't have any kind of financial loss. So the one thing though about this particular iPad mini, it's the 5th generation, which still has that old Lightning port. I was really trying to avoid that. I'd much prefer a 6th generation or later, because those are the ones where they switch to USB-C, and everything else in my camera kit charges via USB-C. So now I got to carry around one specific cable that is only useful for charging the iPad. But it's such a good deal that, like I said, it's not that big of a deal if later on I get an iPad mini 6, or I end up just going the actual camera monitor route, and then I'll sell this one off. But it is saving me about $100, maybe a little more, as compared to getting a 6th generation that would have the USB-C port. And this is really just a size test first. If I find that the size and form factor works really well, then I probably will sell or trade this one off and nab myself a Mini 6. That way I can be consistent and have everything charging off USB-C. This stuff is probably like, who cares, Josh? You know, whatever. But I do love sharing everything that happens to run this platform, because it is a lot. You guys just see the camera turns on and I'm talking about whatever in the vlog, or the camera turns on and I'm breaking down gym routines or whatever. But what happens behind the scenes to create all that content is a lot. I mean, me just knowing, for example, that an iPad Mini 5 charges with Lightning versus an iPad Mini 6 charging USB-C, that comes through having to do research about each change in each iterative generation of these different mobile devices. I did the same thing for phones, because while I've been currently using my phone as a wireless monitor, well, unfortunately that means I can't use my phone at the gym because it's wirelessly doing the video for me to monitor. People are texting me and I'm missing their texts. Can't use it to listen to music. So it's like, yeah, theoretically that's cool that you already have a device that can double as your camera monitor, and in a pinch that works, but that also means you just don't have access to your phone for the entire 1 hour that you're at the gym. So I'm thinking either you get the little iPad Mini, or you just find a good deal on an older iPhone on Facebook Marketplace. It's about a 6-inch screen. So you're talking about a 2-inch difference, and that might be honestly what determines what's a more, I don't know, what's the right word? Less cumbersome setup, because 8 inches might be too much, honestly, especially when you're trying to put that on a tripod, but you're not trying to draw too much attention in the gym. All right, well now you got a tripod, and not just a phone, but a nice mirrorless camera in a cage with a little microphone attachment with a 8-inch screen on it, a little iPad Mini. You know, that might be kind of pushing it in terms of what people want to see in the gym. But this is a full-scale professional production I'm trying to give you guys here. Oh man, now that we're in this parking lot, can we fix that? So I just arrived at the new gym. We're gonna go in and do a quick check, see if there's even an employee there, and talk to them about filming content, that kind of thing. And if we strike out about there being an employee there, then we'll probably head straight to Sam's Club, stock up on protein and our other essentials, and also try to arrange this. Oh man, all right, well this guy just said he can meet me at this gym. Awesome, I just pulled up there. Sorry, wheeling and dealing, and we are always wheeling and dealing. So it sounds like the Facebook Marketplace deal is gonna come meet me here at the gym. How beautiful is that? So I'll go in there and I'll chat with them and see what the membership and all that other stuff is like, do this Facebook Marketplace deal, and then third errand of the day will be a Sam's Club trip for some protein and other calorie conscious essentials. So assuming there is an employee and assuming we get a session in right now, then we are going to be doing a shoulder day here in this new gym. So hopefully we can break that down for you guys. If not, that will be coming soon. Okay, now this is quite the setup. We got this thing on the wireless monitor and control app going to our newly purchased iPad, which is plugged in via USB-C so it doesn't die. I have a full visibility of my frame. I mean, like, it's actually really easy to see that maybe I should go right there. I got visibility of our exposure. We got an ND filter on the camera. The camera is mounted to a windshield. We got DJI mics on. Okay, a full scale professional production in the car. Let's roll these windows up. So we struck out on our first errand, which was going to the gym to see if there was an employee there, to see if I could check out the facilities and maybe start training there. Due to the inclement weather, no employees are on staff today, so we will try that again tomorrow. Second errand, and very fortunately, I found this cute little 8-inch iPad Mini on Facebook Marketplace. Negotiated them down to $100, which is a freaking steal. And now I have an external camera monitor that is mobile, wireless, can put it wherever I want, on the dash of my car, mount it to a tripod, mount it to the camera, whatever I would feel like doing. Leveraging the Sony Monitor and Control app to keep an eye on how we're framed and the exposure and all of that. If you can't tell, I'm very pleased with myself for figuring all of this out and doing so in a very frugal fashion. That is always the key. You know, we traded for the camera, didn't have to pay a single penny for it. We got an iPad mini for $100, which is less than you would pay for the cheapest camera monitor. That wouldn't be wireless. It would be hardwired via HDMI, which would not help me in the car. There's genuinely not room to attach a external monitor because the camera is hanging upside down, and by the time you have the suction mount, the magic arm, the mic attached, there's like this much space between the camera and all of its attachments and the dashboard. So like there is no mounting an external monitor to that. I guess maybe I could mount it over to the side, but either way, this is much better because I can put the monitor just on top of the dashboard. I do need a better setup for it because it's sitting kind of crooked right now, but wow, lots of experimentation. I say it every video, but we are trying to up the production value no matter where we are, at the gym, in the car, at home in the studio, the audio quality, the visual quality. The learning never ends. But we have to bring the physique too. And that is the intent of this trip to Sam's Club, to support all of the daily trips we do to the gym. We got to feed our body and we got to shave off all the fat. Gains to make and what is it? Gains to accrue and fat to lose. Not much fat to lose left, honestly. We're sitting pretty lean right now. That physique update I recorded for you guys last night, I don't know how many of you have ever seen a 28-inch waist before with this much muscle mass, but it's a rare thing. But we do need to shave off another 3 or 4 pounds. And we'll do that over the course of the next 2-ish weeks. And the crazy thing is being this lean 10 years ago, I got to single digit, even low single digit body fat my very first 6 months in dieting. Now to do so, I was starving myself, eating like 1,000 calories a day. Like my whole day's intake was like 5 Quest bars. And my God, what the hunger cravings, the irritability, couldn't sleep because I was hungry, so difficult. But the reason it was so difficult is because I had no muscle mass yet. Because I had no muscle mass, my daily caloric allowance was still very, very low. So that's the point. You have to accrue the muscle mass to make the dieting easier. So this day and age, being somewhere between 7 and 9% body fat, I still get to enjoy the same amount of calories that used to would have made me gain weight. It's a pretty amazing thing. It's the dividends that I always talk about in staying consistent long term. You reap the rewards of the seeds that you sow. Oh man. So we're gonna go to Sam's Club. We're gonna get probably, we need beverages for one. We need 0-calorie beverages. That's the huge hack in terms of intermittent fasting. You need to stay hydrated to push off your hunger cravings, but also just consuming something that tastes good is enough to take care of the cravings in combination with staying hydrated. In my humble opinion, don't listen to me, okay? It's not like I've done it for 11 years straight. Don't listen to me. It's not like I have Not just like a loose definition of abs year round, but a crisp six-pack year round. Don't listen to me. It's not like I have the printed documentation of in-body scans of my single-digit body fat percentage for 10 years. Don't listen to me. Okay, it's not like I can show you the book that I wrote that is the accumulation of 10 years of knowledge of bulking and cutting and intermittent fasting, macros, calories, CECO, calories in, calories out, IIFYM if it fits your macros. Don't listen to me. If you want to stay sloppy, if you want to stay addicted to your slovenly, gluttonous lifestyle, then fine, don't listen to me. But if you want to eat whatever you want and you want to look great and you want to have confidence that is through the roof, but not prideful and arrogance, okay? We preach against those things. It is okay to be satisfied and pleased with yourself, so long as that satisfaction is coming from the observation of hard work that you have done. You're not just baselessly prideful. That's very unattractive. So I had this pre-workout I've been sipping for the last hour. Then I got shot down at the gym and I had to wait for the guy to get this little iPad mini. So I'm basically hopped up on caffeine and other stimulants just to go to Sam's Club. And we probably will not do the gym session today because it's already getting to be almost 2 o'clock. I got to get home, family obligations. So no gym trip today. It was a tech investment kind of day. Very, and also to get this monitor working, I had to go through all kind of technical troubleshooting, Googling stuff. The problem was that my phone was still connected to the Wi-Fi network that the phone, or that the camera creates whenever you do this pairing for the wireless monitor app. Like it was connected via Bluetooth, but it kept saying wrong password, which ended up not being the problem. I didn't have to try a different password. Something about the app can't be connected to 2 wireless devices at the same time. So learned that today. Lots of patience required to acquire the deals, to accrue the technical knowledge, to accrue the videography knowledge. Where did I get all this patience? Oh, the fitness lifestyle, delayed gratification. It always pays you back in many different unexpected ways. So what do I need at Sam's Club? We need tasty, yummy, 0-calorie beverages, whether it's Gatorade Zero, Crystal Light. Oh, I need some chips. I'm thinking about doing nachos tonight, and so I need some crispy, salty base for my nachos. I actually just stocked up on ground beef, so I don't think I'm gonna buy any of that in bulk. And I just did 5 pounds of chicken last week. So we'll burn through this ground beef I have at home and do something else next. I'm thinking maybe pulled pork. Pulled pork nachos are way underrated. You know, chicken nachos get a lot of fanfare, as do your traditional ground beef nachos or shredded beef. But shredded pork on nachos with some barbecue sauce and some pineapples. And check this, you guys want to hear something completely proprietary, nobody's ever done it before? Instead of using tortilla chips for your base on your nachos, use Funyuns. It's the same calories, it's not going to make a difference. It's the same garbage calories, it's all carbs. But that's okay, because you're going to use about 3 servings of chips, and that's going to be about 400 calories. And the other 600 calories for your 1,000 calorie meal that you're allowed to have because you intermittent fasted all day are going to come from protein sources. It's going to come from whatever meat you put on there, whatever cheese you put on there, and then dipping it in your plain Greek yogurt, which you are wisely using as a substitute for sour cream. Obviously, this is everything that you're already doing, but this is how you enjoy an entire pan, not a plate of nachos, an entire cookie sheet of nachos for 1,000 calories with how much protein? Like close to 100 grams, maybe somewhere between 75 and 100 grams of protein. It's got that golden 10-to-1 ratio. For every 100 calories you consume, you should be getting 10 grams of protein. So I'll have the plate or the pan of nachos tonight for dinner, and then after that I'll have 6 pieces of cinnamon toast with half a pint of orange cinnamon roll ice cream. Like, this guy's eating like a pig over here. But did you know all that food adds up to a mere 1,600 calories? That's nothing. That's what a woman eats per day. And that is how I can shave off virtually all of my body fat in the span of 2 weeks, because my maintenance calories are around 2,500. And so this is a very aggressive cut, by the way. I don't recommend a caloric deficit beyond about 25% of your maintenance. But for me, I have masterful discipline and I can handle the hunger cravings. I've done this so many times. And part of it is knowing what the timeline is. Like a lot of you guys who are cutting for the first time, you genuinely don't know how long it's going to take you to get to X body fat percent, or until you're happy with what you see in your mirror. So it feels like you're just pushing a boulder up a hill and you never know when the battle is going to end. For me, I know all of the equations. I know the 3,500 calories equals 1 gram or 1 pound of fat. I know exactly what my maintenance is. I know how many calories I'm burning. I know how many calories I'm consuming. So I just plug it all into the formula and I know, okay, it's 2 weeks into the cut. I've already lost, 3 to 4 pounds, which is a pound of body fat plus 1 pound of water per week. I only had 5 pounds to lose in the first place because I stay low body fat year round. So, I mean, come on, guys. You're talking to, what is it they say, a grandmaster is somebody who has like 10,000 hours or more in their trade or something like that. Well, you're talking to the grand wizard over here. And, let's not talk about grand wizards in any other context because that can be misinterpreted. But I am the grand wizard of dieting, aesthetics, the fitness lifestyle. Just sit back, listen, learn, trust the process. It's so effing easy if you just put in the work, if you just trust. All right, we're about to pull up to Sam's here and I got to pay attention, not miss my exit. I was gonna reach over and turn off the camera, but the light turned green, so I gotta focus on driving first and then shutting down this whole technological wireless monitor, camera, wireless mics, all that stuff second. Oh, we gotta get over though. Assuming this friendly individual behind us will let me. Oh, yeah, all right, time for a Sam's Club trip. What else do I need? I need Funyuns, I need low-calorie beverages. Sam's Club is also the spot for wireless, too much tech on my mind. Fat-free Greek yogurt. Yeah, you guys know wireless Greek yogurt. No, plain fat-free Greek yogurt. Significantly cheaper for a big tub of it at Sam's Club. And I feel like there's a couple other things, especially when I'm buying protein in bulk. That's usually a Sam's Club trip, but I already have stocked up on that. But I know I wrote a couple things down on my grocery list, so we will consult the list. We will get stocked up. Do I need anything for my ice creams? I just ordered 5 pounds of casein protein from Amazon. Man, powder protein's gotten so ridiculously expensive. These people wanting $20 a pound. Man, when I started lifting, it was $10 a pound was like average, not that great of a deal. You could usually find it for less. 100% inflation is what us bodybuilders are suffering from. 100% inflation since the COVID era. So it's like 5 years, the cost of my protein, the cost of my gains is now doubled. I see that the camera, thanks to this beautiful large monitor, got jostled a little bit going over these speed bumps. See, that's just not something, okay, I should have ratcheted the camera down a little bit more, or I shouldn't have decided to go over 19 speed bumps over here just to get to Sam's Club. But that's something I would not have been able to observe on a little 2-inch monitor 5 feet away across the car. So I needed this iPad mini. I've never had an iPad mini though. I've had all of the other forms of iPads. I actually have 3 extra iPads at home that I'm holding in inventory to trade or sell for other stuff. iPad Pros, iPad Air, iPad base model, 11-inch, 13-inch. I've had them all except an iPad mini until 1 hour ago. Now I have one and I can honestly see the utility of them. They're pretty fun. They're easy to hold in one hand. They fit into different little nooks and crannies. A bit more manageable when it comes to these like ancillary uses, like putting it on a tripod or this guy said the reason he's selling it is because it was his heads-up display in his car. And now he, I guess, probably bought a new car that has a heads-up display built in and doesn't need it anymore. So lots of creative uses for the little iPad mini. I wouldn't want to put a 13-inch iPad up here. It wouldn't even fit where I'm putting it. So same thing, like mounting a 13-inch iPad to your camera as your external monitor, that's stupid. That's not going to work. It would be unwieldy to even try to, you guys know me, I'm always trying to find new angles for each set at the gym. That's not tenable. 8 inches, as I was talking about before, might already be kind of stretching it, but I think this is actually going to work. I need to find a mounting device, like I have a lot of iPhone clamps that go like this big. I need a clamp that goes about that big for the new investment here. But all right, we have arrived at Sam's Club. Let's shut her down. Let's get some groceries. I'll talk to you guys later. This is really just a hangout kind of day, no breakdown of exercise routines, but not every day do I need to be breaking down hypertrophy versus powerlifting, rep ranges, how much weight to use and all that. So I'll talk to you guys again soon. I got to go get these groceries. All right, let's show you guys a grocery haul here. We just finished up at Sam's Club and it was our lucky day. Ended up being in there for a while because they had all of their meat 25% off. So we loaded up. We got 3 packs of, what is this? Beef top London broil, about $5.50 a pound, which is the same price these days as ground beef. We got 3 packs of boneless pork loin chops. How much are these? That's like 2 pounds per. So we got 8 or 9 pounds of the London broil beef. We got roughly the same of the boneless pork loin. Look at these 2 bad boys back here. Beef bottom round roast. We got 2 of those big bad boys for less than $5 a pound. That's gonna take care of our protein for the next month easily. I don't know the math on all this. How much is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then these are 4 pounds 8. So this is like probably between 20 and 25 pounds of protein. So I think we're good on that. And what are we gonna have with all that? Potatoes. We got russet potatoes for baked potatoes. We got sweet potatoes over here, stocked up on our marinara for spaghetti, lasagna, various things. Gotta have some goy slop in the diet. You guys know me, every morning instead of having coffee, I like to indulge in some kind of 0-calorie energy beverage. So we got some Reigns. The other pure goy slop thing here, gotta have our Funyuns. If you've never made nachos with Funyuns as a base instead of tortilla chips, trust me, try it. Gotta have our low-calorie almond milk, the 30 calories per serving kind. This stuff is a huge hack in terms of making your homemade ice cream. Gotta have that. And for our 0-calorie beverage needs, gotta have some Crystal Light as well. I think there's some minced garlic hiding back there too. But that was our very quick grocery haul from Sam's Club. Got a whole month's worth of meat. I think all that meat was, I don't know, 125, 150 bucks, which is not that bad for an entire month's worth of between 8 to 12 ounces of protein every single night. We have big boy needs, so we gotta buy big boy meats. All right, I gotta put all this stuff away, and actually I gotta find space in the freezer for all of this meat. That's gonna be a little difficult, but I'll figure it out.